Dear viewers, you are most welcome to the Experts Corner. My name is Veronica Rose, and today I have a special guest. He's based in the US. He is a global award winning educational leader. He's an author, he's a speaker. And how did I come to know about Dr. Hasib? Dr. Hasib has invited me before on his show where we had discussions on cybersecurity. And on the same note, I would like him to tell us more about himself and also to let us know what cybersecurity means. Dr.
Wonderful, wonderful. Veronica, this is such an honor and pleasure. Of course, I had you on my show and we had that terrific conversation.
Yeah.
And so I'm very honored that you invited me back to your show to have this conversation. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about what is cybersecurity. And that kind of also will share a little bit about my background. What happened was I was in the field practicing for about 30 years in education, healthcare, biotechnology, energy. So I was doing all of that. The last 12 years of my life, I was the chief information officer in doing digital strategy and organizational transformations for various organizations. So I've never done anything without looking at the mission. So for example, if I was with a healthcare organization, I wanted to help that organization succeed. When I was with a nuclear power plant, I wanted to have that organization succeed. So just from that, you can see that at any time when we do digital strategy, it's based upon the mission. What are we trying to do? And what is this specific organization trying to do? So when I was looking at what was happening in the cybersecurity field, I saw, my God, people don't even know what cybersecurity is. And yet they're selling solutions, they're offering solutions, they're acting like they know everything, and yet they can't even spell the word. I was seeing spellings like cyber space security. I was seeing cyber hyphen security. And I said, okay, so that connotes they're only focused on security aspects. Well, security as a concept does not exist anymore because security is a state. All right, nothing ever is 100% secure because some people will always have to have legitimate access to it. So the moment you have people with legitimate access to something, it is never 100% secure. So think about a home, right? Is the home ever 100% secure? No. You have people in the home that have access to the keys and they can open the door, they can lock the door. So let us say that somebody with a key has left the door unlocked. What happens? That is a user behavior, right? Access that somebody has. So a lot of this whole concept depends upon the human element, the people, right? So I started to realize that I need to start teaching people about what cybersecurity truly is. And so I did some research. Of course, I was going through my doctoral program during that time. I learned a lot. So I have a Doctor of Science in the field of cybersecurity, and I was one of the first in the world to earn that degree.
Wow.
So when I was going through that, I went through the literature and I saw what had happened. There's a field called information security. That's what used to exist until 1991 or so. And the field changed to information assurance. And in 2001, the concept of information assurance came. Information security was very static oriented. They still talked about confidentiality, integrity, and availability being the goals. Still talked about technology and policy being the tools, but they did not embrace people yet. They were talking about training and awareness in 1991. 2001, the concept of people and the engagement of people and culture became prevalent. All right. So after seeing that literature, I saw that, wait a minute, they're still trying to do the same thing for every organization. In other words, they're never looking at the mission, right? They're also never evaluating risks. They're trying to plug every hole, and that doesn't work. No company can ever afford that. On top of that, they were not having a governance framework. They were also not implementing perpetual innovation. So what I did was I took all of my life learning, the academic literature, and then I put together the updated cybersecurity model in 2014. And I basically said, yes, cybersecurity is mission focused and risk optimized governance of information. Okay, I made sure that people did not focus on the systems because a lot of information are in people's heads.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that also is sacred and important for any organization. So I said it is the governance of information which maximizes confidentiality, integrity, and availability using a balanced mix of people, policy, and technology while perennially improving over time. So that I put together, and I also said, do not misspell cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is one word. Because the moment you put the hyphen in there or the space in there, now you're talking about maybe the security of cyberspace. So now you're more focused on the systems or the domain and things like that. And you have lost the focus on information itself. Because, and that is why one of the key things that I've always said is that a company shouldn't be doing layoffs and things like that, because who has most of your information? People in their heads.
Yeah.
Right? So you lay them off, you're probably laying off your most valuable assets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Hasib, for explaining that in depth. And still talking of people, different people have a lot of reasons as to why they pursue their careers in cybersecurity. So from your experience, Dr. Hasib, do cybersecurity job titles always describe what people do?
Great question. I don't know how you came up with that question, but that's a lovely question. Because this is where you can see, because every human being is unique. And if the human being chooses to bring all of themselves to any particular job role, then it is 100% realistic that the way that person is going to do the job is going to be different than anybody else. Because every job has two parts. One, something that the company or your supervisor expects you to do. The other is what you make of it with your passion, your innovation, your knowledge, your personality, and your talents, right? Because everybody may not have, say, marketing talent. But if you do have marketing talent and you have that understanding, or you have the talent of doing art and creativity or leadership and communications, guess what? Even though you're doing the job, you're going to bring all of these things into that job. And then all of a sudden, you're going to impart your personality to the job will take on your passion, and it'll be completely different. So that is the thing that usually happens and should happen, because I always expected. So anytime I hired somebody, I would give the job description and everything, and those are things that I need to have happen. Then I always told people, there's a portion of the job that depends on your innovation, your passion, your personality, and that is not something that I will be able to define for you, but you have the liberty to tell me what you want to do. What are the things that you want to do? Let's help you get there. That creates an amazing situation. Now you have people who are not only doing the job, but that they're pursuing their passion.
Yeah, I like that. Passion.
Yes.
Yes. So that brings us to the book, the Cybersecurity Leadership book.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is ethical leadership important, especially in the cybersecurity industry?
Aha. Absolutely. So you understood that the whole concept of innovation has to be there. Well, people need incentives for innovation. The concept of ethical leadership is that I should be paying people according to their contribution.
Absolutely.
So if somebody is producing multi-million dollars from me, I shouldn't be continuously paying that person less and less and less, and every time they ask for a raise, I should object to that, because that's crazy. That's bad business. And that's what causes people to lose people. But ethical leadership basically is also the foundation of capitalism, right? We as human beings love to benefit from our hard work. Otherwise, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
So ethical leadership basically says that you will pay people
Yeah.
according to their contribution. That's number one. The other thing is that you will always speak the truth. You will always have integrity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You will always give your people the right information. So for example, let us say that your company is about to face trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it good to hide that? No, because if you hide that, what's happening is that people are going to make decisions,
Yes.
and they could even be in a position to help you solve the problem if you're honest with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never lied to my people because there was no reason. Every time we had a problem or an issue, we would talk about it in a frank and free manner.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would solicit all the ideas to figure out how to get out of this problem. Because a multidisciplinary, multi-brain approach to a problem is much better than a single brain trying to solve the problem without all the information.
Absolutely.
And the problem with lying is that if you are lying as an executive or a leader, what happens? Everybody, your customers, your people, your employees are making the decisions based upon what you just said.
Absolutely.
And now it could be a decision for their life, right? So you want people to always know the truth so that they can make the decisions according to the truth. So that is another reason why ethical leadership is important. I don't believe that somebody can be a leader and executive properly without having ethics. So in my book, Cybersecurity Leadership, you probably saw that was the first thing I put up there as a key value that every leader must embrace. If they don't have the value of integrity, they shouldn't be given positions of power. To me, it is that secret.
Yeah.
Because they become very dangerous. A person without ethics, with a position of power, is incredibly dangerous. And we've seen countless examples of that throughout history, not necessarily even in cybersecurity. Right? And yet, cybersecurity, we're dealing with some of the most sensitive information, some of the most critical information, some of the most mission critical information. Think about the situation in a nuclear power plant. You're talking about the whole community could be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, integrity is really key. Yeah. So I would like also to talk about your newly published book.
Not public yet, but go ahead.
Yes, on personal branding, because personal branding is more of cautious and intentional efforts to create and influence public perception of an individual in the industry. So from your book that you've just published just recently, Bringing Out Your Inner Greatness, I'd like to know more about this book. And at the same time, I would like you to take us through why is personal branding is important.
All right.
Yes.
So first of all, the first draft is done. The book hasn't been published yet, but it will be published, I would say, in about the next 60 days or so. I'm working on the edits right now.
Okay.
This is also another problem that I'm trying to solve because the power is being taken away from people. Even though people produce the value,
yes,
they often don't know how valuable they are. They're often negotiating salary based on equality, fairness. Well, those arguments don't work.
Yeah.
What works is you show the value that you're bringing in, and that value is from your uniqueness, the talents that you bring in, and the money and the profits that you will create. So if you frame your argument that, hey, why am I better? Because right now your company is making $30 million.
Yes.
I can take your company to $117 million in a period of 3 to 4 years. All right?
Yeah.
So how about we negotiate a compensation based upon my contribution? Instead of asking for salary or compensation based upon fairness or gender, hey, I'm a woman, so I want to earn the same as a man. Well, those kinds of arguments never really work, and that's why they've never worked. We have to all understand. See, you are unique, 100% unique, right? There's nobody else in the world like you. Similar to me, right? Every human being is unique.
Mm-hmm.
So we are already starting from a position of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, what do? We then go to school, do other things, try to be average.
Oh, yeah.
In the schools also,
Mm-hmm.
they're testing to an average.
True.
That is crazy. Why are we teaching 10,000 people or 10 million people the same thing
Mm-hmm.
and doing some standardized tests?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're basically failing them. We're telling them that they are average and that's what they should strive towards. In other words, we're killing their individuality that they were born with.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why they lose control of their incomes and their outcomes.
Yeah.
What I am saying is that no, no, no. Do the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace your greatness, embrace your uniqueness,
Mm-hmm.
find out what that is because everybody has it. The
Yeah.
key is recognizing it and then starting to polish it,
Mm-hmm.
refine it,
Yeah.
and then monetize it. Look, you are beginning to do some of that. Look at your show. This is your branding yourself, making
Mm-hmm.
yourself unique, shine out,
Yeah.
and now you're taking that marketing element. So guess what? Everybody knows that if you talk to Veronica
Yeah.
or be on our show, you'll get exposure.
Absolutely.
That creates value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows Veronica is a good marketer.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Marketing brings in money, right?
Absolutely.
So now you argue your compensation based upon those things.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo, you start to go up. And celebrity, fame, personal branding,
Mm-hmm.
all depends on the number of people that you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
How do you get known? So as you do that personal branding,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Your name starts to accumulate incredible marketing power and value.
Oh,
So even associating with your name and your brand
mm-hmm.
makes a company's value go up,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, now you start to earn according to your value, not according to somebody else's power or what somebody else is giving you. So that's what this book is all about. I recognized this. I noticed that what was happening was that in the old world,
Mm-hmm.
the individuals like you and me
Yeah.
had no way to get our voices out because mass media, all the advertisement forums and all of that
Yeah.
were captured by big money and big organizations.
Corporations.
But
Yeah.
now, through the power of technology, here we are talking in two continents, in two
Yeah.
time zones, and we're having a rich discussion
Mm-hmm.
and sharing of ideas. You heard about my work sitting over there, and yet I have never spent a single dollar on advertisements.
Imagine.
So now the power of technology has created this incredible voice for everybody. So
Yeah.
we can outmarket any company right now. And that is one of the things that has happened. I recognized this in 2017 when I won the People's Choice Award that year against many companies that had millions of subscribers and multi-million dollars of marketing dollars.
Yeah.
And they were spending that to win. But I was spending nothing. I had the passion of people
Yeah.
and the connections with people. See, people don't affiliate with companies anymore. They affiliate with people.
Yeah.
Right? Because we build relationships with people. We don't build relationships with companies. I could care less which company you're working for, right?
Yeah.
If I have a professional relationship of respect and all that with you,
Yeah.
that's going to go wherever you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Right? And that value of your brand will go wherever you go.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is why it is so important. So then what happens is that you can now negotiate salaries better and live a better life, and you are in better control of your destiny.
Oh, yeah.
That is why I wrote.
I really like that. And I'm also glad you mentioned that golden rule of being unique, which
Yes.
which makes me ask you, which is your brand? What is
Well, my name is my brand.
that?
You see, a lot of people
Yes.
don't understand that your personal brand
Yes.
starts with your name.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
that name has multiple dimensions. So just to give you an example, yes, I'm a cybersecurity leader, but I'm also an educator. I'm also a professor. I'm also a thought leader. I'm also a marketer. I'm also somebody that does music and art and things like that. So if you think about trying to brand yourself without your name, it will never work, right? Because that unique name and brand has multiple dimensions.
True.
And when you bring yourself to any effort, you should be bringing your entire persona, all your dimensions, right? So if I am an educator or a professor, well, I'm not just bringing in my cybersecurity leadership skills. I'm bringing everything. I'm bringing public speaking. I'm bringing marketing. I'm bringing strategy, all of that in there. So that is the key, you see? And so my personal brand is my name. I do have a symbol which represents that, which that this first book, the cybersecurity leadership book, it has that crested giant swallow in there. That symbol represents that thing about leadership, which is hard work. If you notice, that is a very rare cactus. It has the crest in there. And so in that book, I've explained why I chose that as a it starts to create conversations. You see, create questions. And that is very important. All right. So that's what I think about personal branding, and what my personal brand is. It is my name.
Oh yeah, I've really enjoyed having you, Dr. Hasib. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Wonderful. I absolutely enjoyed talking with you, Veronica. Best of luck to you. Thank you.
Oh yeah. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on more of the upcoming sessions. Dr. Hasib, where can my viewers find you?
At www.cybersecurityleadership.com.
Okay.
Or they can come and join my conversation sometime.
Absolutely.
As you know, everybody is welcome.
Everybody is welcome. Thank you, Dr. Hasib.
Thank you. Take care.